When you wake up in the morning and the light hits your head, the first thing you do when you get up out of bed, hit them streets running as you try to beat the masses. Go and get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah. Anyway, those aren't cheap at all. Actually, the wife kind of splurged on me. Had them for like a year though. Thank God. Anyway, this is the Afterfight Afterthought for the Manny Pacquiao Timothy Bradley fight, and I've always done them. I did one for the Pacquiao Marquez fight when I thought Marquez got robbed, and I'll do one for this fight too. You know, equal opportunity. Timothy Bradley does deserve his time in the sun. He wasn't the one that did the judging. He was just the one getting punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's you know, you can't fault him for the system. It's not his fault. But what we can do is maybe not watch any more pay-per-view fights. That would be a start. Anyway, getting carried away. This is Afterfight Afterthought. We start with the before, the during, and after fight. I do the round by round in there as well. And I go over both fighters. I'll start out with the after fight, which is the winner of the fight, which is Timothy Bradley. And then we'll go to the afterthought, which is the loser of the fight, which is Manny Pacquiao. I'll start out with Tim Bradley going in here. This is a great shot. I mean, this is what he waited for. He passed up two opportunities to fight Amir Khan, and got this shot. So what more could he ask for? I mean, this is it. I mean, he's moving up in weight. I mean, he's fought at this weight before, but not for a while. You know, so I mean, he's moving up in weight. Will the power, will the speed, will the stamina, all those things you wonder about, will they carry up? It's not. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of power to begin with. So will that take even more off his punches, or will he finally, you know, hit you as hard as his frame looks, which he looks like he should be like at a 90% knockout ratio. He has nothing to lose. He is in his prime. Everything is looking good. You know, if he looks good in a loss, you know, all the other fights are going to be there. You know, whoever he wants to fight, it's all open. If he gets knocked out quick, they're going to wonder about him. You know, they're going to question him because, you know, a lot of his opponents, you know, he hasn't fought the best of the best. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things. If he wins, sorry, man, something caught me. Anyway, and if he wins, Mayweather, baby, Mayweather, man. I would give up the title and say, screw the fight again, you know, whatever. I'm fighting Mayweather. Anyway, you know, for the mega fight. Over on Manny Pacquiao's side is he on the downside? You know, I mean, admittedly, it looked like he had gotten beat in his last fight. Many thought he lost to Juan Manuel Marquez. There's trouble in camp between Ariza and Roach, you know, and that never works well. I mean, he's challenging another young lion, and this is like one of the. It's been like 9 years since he actually fought a fighter that was undefeated, that was in his prime, that was ready to rock and roll, that kind of stuff, you know, and you know he must look good. You know, with the Juan Manuel Marquez, you know, you kind of get a little bit of a pass because Juan Manuel's a bad dude, man. I mean, just because Mayweather made him look really bad doesn't mean he's a bad fighter. He's a really good fighter, you know. This is a must-win for him because if he wins, he gets that super fight. You know what I'm saying? The legacy continues. Possibly late in 2012 against Mayweather. You know, he's if he loses, you know, we'll kind of wonder about it. I mean, this is the heaviest he's ever come into a fight at 147. He doesn't necessarily look as ripped as he normally does when he comes in. So was there some training issues in there? Will he ever loosen up his calves? Okay, going into the fight, here's the round by round there in round one, you know. Bradley with the jabs, left hook to the body by Bradley, 1-2 by Pacquiao, jab by Bradley, 1-2 by Bradley, another 1-2 by Pacquiao. Going back and forth there, some nice hooks to the body by Bradley. Bradley's in the right, so Bradley's doing the right thing. He's going in there. He's looking fairly sharp, decent. Hook to the body. Another left by Pacquiao. Some jabs by Pacquiao in there. Right to the body right by Bradley. Another left there by a jab by Pacquiao, and I gave that round to Bradley. It was a 10-9 round to Bradley, and it was one of those. It all depends on how you want to look at things, how you go. In round two, Bradley starts off with the jab. Uh, Big left hand by Pacquiao. This rocks Bradley a little bit there. Another left by Pacquiao, or left to the body by Pacquiao. You know, Manny's trying to get him to bang a little bit there, and left to the body by Bradley. 1-2 by Pacquiao. Left to the body by Pacquiao. Jab by Bradley. Jabs by Pacquiao. They're trading. Bradley's landing some combos there, right to the body by Bradley, left by Pacquiao, and they're trading jabs there toward the end. Initially, when I had saw this, I called this round a draw. After rewatching it and seeing the more effective punches and stuff, I went with Pacquiao, 10-9 for Pacquiao, so it's 1-1. And the thing I want to get through to everybody here is this is professional boxing. This is not amateur boxing. A jab that scores like this, yeah, that's a point in amateur boxing. 20 jabs that do this and one good left that rocks your head, that left is going to count more than pitter-pat jabs. And I don't know where people, get off at saying, well, he was boxing, he was throwing all these jabs. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's effective. And that's what professional fighting is. It's effective fighting. It's not pitter-pat stuff building points. This is not the amateurs. Round three there, Bradley was hurt in this round, by the way, just throw that out there. Jabs left to the body by Pacquiao, hook to the body by Bradley. They're tying up. Body head by Bradley, left by Pacquiao. Jab by Pacquiao, right by Pacquiao. The right to the body by Bradley, left to the body by Pacquiao. Hook by Bradley, left by Pacquiao. 1-2 by Pacquiao in there. And then that's where you kind of have the left, kind of sets it off there as a 1-2 by Pacquiao. And then the left to the body by Pacquiao, right by Bradley. Bradley starts throwing more shots to the body. And I gave that round to Pacquiao as well in the third. And Bradley was wobbled in that one. In the fourth one, very much the same thing. The flow, everything was going toward the end there. Pacquiao started going off and landing the more solid shots, the ones that actually moved Bradley. Bradley looked hurt. Bradley was trying to tie up. They were trading at the end there. It was just a solid round for Pacquiao in there. Let's see if I put it in there. Yeah. Bradley was throwing his 1-2s, or 1-2-1s, a couple times. All those were blocked, when he's throwing them. Bradley was actually hurt and wobbled at the end of the third, toward the end of the third. Fourth round was the same thing. Fifth round, Pacquiao appears to be warming up. Bradley's legs actually look a bit shot in there. They're trading, lefts by Pacquiao, jabs by Pacquiao. Whenever they're trading, Pacquiao, believe it or not, and people don't want to admit this, or they don't see it. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but Bradley does land some nice hooks when they're coming in. The problem is what they're not watching, and what you need to do is almost have to slow down and watch scenes over and over again, is Pacquiao can hit you low, high, then low again in the same time frame that pretty much any man on the planet can just throw one high. You know what I'm saying? And Bradley's fast, I'll give him that much. But Pacquiao can still throw 3 to Bradley's 2. And when you're starting to watch this, I gave the 5th round to Pacquiao. Bradley was hurt in this round. There was a big left hand landed by Pacquiao. And once again, a big left hand is going to beat 10 half-ass jabs any day of the week. You see what I'm saying? And we go into round 6, you see more of the same. And as a matter of fact, the first punch thrown that wasn't a jab was by Pacquiao, and that was a left hand that landed at the it was at the minute 58 mark or something like that of the round. So over a minute had already passed. Bradley hadn't thrown nothing but pitter-pat jabs. They were all hitting off of Pacquiao's gloves. Pacquiao was actually pushing the pace. The uppercuts were starting to land more. You started seeing that. He was almost stalking and walking down Bradley, and this was another round that Bradley had survived. In the 7th round, Bradley looked admittedly better. They were going back and forth. It was a lot more of Bradley was working the body, and you got to give him credit for that. And he never abandoned that in any of the rounds. He would still go. But whenever they would tie up or get into these exchanges, here's another thing. And the ref was good to warn. He warned Bradley about headbutts earlier in the fight. He had warned Pacquiao about holding down on the head. The one thing that he never really talked about or addressed was the fact that a fighter, his head cannot go below his waist. And when a fighter bends over and is looking at the ground, his head goes below his waist. That is an illegal move. You are no longer in the fight area. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like breaking the law. It's like, hey, well, I'm going to get down here and I'm going to squat as low as I can so you can't hit me kind of deal. And that is illegal in boxing. And I don't know why the ref never warned him about this. Bradley did this repeatedly, pretty much in every round. And I don't know why it was never brought up. Look at the rules. Go ahead. Try and call me out on it, but look at the rules first before you start trying to give me the business, okay? But that is, in fact, what it was. That round was Pacquiao's, by the way, the 7th round. 8th round, again, it's all going to be the same. Bradley appears to be getting his legs back. He was heating up at the end, and every time, Pacquiao comes in, he does this high-low, like he's pop, 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 and he's connecting with those, and they're more solid shots, and they're actually doing more damage than what Bradley's doing. You see what I'm saying? This isn't, you see what you feel, you see? Anyway, professional boxing, not amateur boxing. The 8th round I gave to Pacquiao as well. The 9th round was another Pacquiao round, and Bradley actually looked spent in this round. He looked tired again. He started landing some more shots toward the end, with some uppercuts and some rights to the body and stuff, and you like to see that. Pacquiao, it was like that left hand couldn't miss, and he was just freight training him in there, and those were backing Bradley up. Bradley had never really threw a punch that backed, Pacquiao off his mark or anything like that at all. In the 10th round, this was one where actually Bradley was kind of opening up on Pacquiao. It was kind of like not a last-ditch effort. He seemed like his legs were even more underneath him. And I don't know if Pacquiao had taken a round off or something like that, because they had talked about that in the corner. But rights to the body, 1-2 hook by Bradley. These were some nice jabs and rights. 1-2 by Pacquiao, left to the body by Bradley, right by Bradley, hook, right hand by Bradley, left by Pacquiao, jabs. It was heating up at the end there, and you could see Pacquiao was trying to get some more exchanges, but Bradley stayed back, and I think Bradley took the 10th round. In the 11th round was a little bit more the same there, where you had a very, very close round. This could have went either way, and if you wanted to give this round to Bradley, I really couldn't argue it with you. If you wanted to call it a draw, I couldn't argue it with you. If you wanted to do a 10-9 for Pacquiao, I couldn't argue with you. It was very, very close. Jabs by Bradley, of course. Jab to the body by Bradley, left by Pacquiao, another left by Pacquiao, right to the body by Bradley. They're going back, and it was a nice ebb and flow, right to the body by Bradley. 1-2 by Bradley, jabs. There was a right, and then a 1-2 by Pacquiao in there. And then right by Bradley, 1-2 by Pacquiao. Hooks, to the body by Bradley. And the punches were landing cleanly. They look decent. A lot of jabs you don't hear me bringing up and stuff like that, because they're ineffective and they're hitting off gloves. I'm not talking about punches that didn't land. So in that round right there, I wavered on, and I'll give it to Bradley. Okay, there you go. Round of Bradley. 11th, and the 12th was kind of more the same there. Bradley kind of opening up right to the bodies, or trading a little bit there. 1-2-1 by Bradley, that was nice. Left by Pacquiao. 1-2s by Bradley, they're trading. And I'll give that round to Bradley as well. Yeah, you like that? So, that's 8 rounds to 4. And if you want to do is it 8 rounds? Bradley, yeah. You're looking at 8 rounds to 4. 8, 116 to 112, something like that. You feel me? So, however you want to cut it, initially I might have even had it 117, 111 for Pacquiao. I still have 116, 112 for Pacquiao after watching the fight again. And not giving draws. Actually saying this fighter's going to take it and this fighter's going to take it. Initially, I had Pacquiao winning the 11th round as well. But what is now? What's going to happen now? And obviously, the biggest clamor now is a rematch. Bob Arum's going off and he's talking about wanting to, hold a. We're going to hold an investigation. It's boxing, man. It's unfortunately there's a lot of criminal organization in it and stuff. And before you UFC people open your mouths, you guys are basically run by boxers too. Dana White was into boxing before he was in the UFC. So all that other stuff there, that's, and you guys are rampant with steroids, like horribly. We get like 3 dudes in a year. You guys get 3 dudes on a fight card. Anyway, when you start looking at all that, obviously the rematch is up. Bradley and Pacquiao look like they'll be in a rematch, unless possibly Mayweather wants to be evil, get in there and finagle something to where he actually fights Bradley. See what I'm saying? Then he could just beat up Bradley and then not ever have to fight Pacquiao. If he doesn't want to, just look at Arum and go, look, I beat up the dude to beat up your dude. Suck it, kind of deal. Anyway, that's what I have. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think, all right? Well, hey, this is Bigragu. I'm out.